So we're just filling the camper's tires right now, and we're about to head up to the homestead. We have snacks here, and Babu has her own little jacket. We've arrived, but we can't back the camper up yet because we can't figure out how to do it. So we've decided to just park on the side of the road until our uncle gets here, and then right now we're just cleaning because the camper hasn't been used in a long time. We're about halfway through. I forgot to do it before, so there's been mice in here, so we had to redo the entire bed and wash it and everything. We're wiping down all the surfaces because there's mud on everything. And we haven't opened any of the cabinets yet because I'm too afraid to. Our uncle came and parked it for us. Babu's decided my clothes hamper is her bed. We set up a cute little table. We're still going through everything. And then we've cleaned up the inside. Now it's just messy because we've been running through things. I'll do a tour of the property in a little bit, but this is just the forest. Me and Babu have officially moved into the camper, so this will be our first night. Everything still needs organized. I'm gonna do that once I turn the camera off. And then tomorrow I'll take you on a tour of the property. The sun's going down, so I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm waiting for the sun to set before I go to bed. I don't actually know what time it is because, hi Babu, because my phone's dead and I forgot to bring my cord, so I have to go to the gas station tomorrow and get a new one and possibly a charging pod. I do have a charging pod. You can't really see it, it's that little thing on the corner. But it tends to lose its battery really quickly. Like, it doesn't hold a charge very well. Me and Babu just got back from a walk. She hasn't really eaten anything today, but sometimes she does that. She doesn't eat a lot, so she has her food and everything out, so if she wants it overnight, she can have it. I'm waiting for Babu to eat her food, because I want to make sure she's fine with the change in housing, because you need a lot of calories when it's cold. She's not eating her food right now. She's eating a snack I put in her food to try and get her to pay attention to it. So we'll see what happens when she eats that. Otherwise, though, we're not leaving this camper until she eats her food. So we have the stove burning for a little more heat. She wouldn't stop shivering, so I made her a nest. I'm gonna take Babu on a walk so she can mark her territory, because I want her to get used to the property. Can you get down? Oh, good girl. It's a little bit chilly. It's actually warmer outside than it is in the trailer, though. But once we've done our little walk around the property, I'm going to put her back in her nest, and then we might walk up to the store. The bed in the camper is super uncomfortable. It kind of reminds me of when I used to not have a bed, because there was like 2 years that I didn't have a bed and I was sleeping on hardwood floor. That's what it reminds me of. So I'm assuming, just like in that instance, I'll get used to it. So this is where I have the camper parked. This is just a little clearing. It actually goes all the way over there. Come on, Babu. She doesn't like to walk over here because there are like there's sticks poking out of the ground. But sometimes she gets mad when I pick her up to carry her over it. It's just a lot of forest. You're going to see a school bus there. That's actually where my uncle is staying. He has refurbished it into, I guess, sort of an RV type thing. I haven't even looked at it. All the stuff over here you're seeing is his. Last time I was here, this clearing actually wasn't here at all, and neither was like that one. Actually, neither was the one where my camper is. So they have been kind of terraforming stuff. Once he heads out, Babu, you're gonna get muddy. The one mud puddle, it did rain last night. Once he heads out and gets rid of his stuff, I'm actually gonna plant birch trees here, because birch trees do grow here, but let's see if I can find an example. So right there, you're gonna see a tree that's dead, and we have a couple of those, and the reason for that is actually an insect called a pine beetle, and they're not really invasive, or maybe they are, They might, I think they are. But the problem with them is, so they used to die off in the winter, but it's been in the last 40 years or so, it hasn't gotten cold enough in the winter to actually kill them off. So they keep spreading, and what they do is they eat the sap in pine trees and they nest inside them, and they kill them. And they're like super contagious. Like once you see a tree with it, others already have it. So this summer we're gonna cut down the dead trees and burn them. And I'm gonna replace them with birch trees because I have a feeling that we need some diversity in this forest, because if the pine beetles are gonna start killing things. She wants me to hold her. Every time I go over there, she like crawls into my lap, but I want her to go to sleep so that I can go to the store. I got my books from the shed. The wild turkeys are gobbling and the dogs next door keep barking at them. So the thing about turkeys is their gobbly sound is really funny, but my asthma's really bad today. I think it's because we were dusting all day yesterday. But so their gobbling sound is really funny, but their mating sound is terrifying. And what I mean by that is, so the boys, they puff up their chest and then they kind of like pop it to make like a drumming sort of sound. So it's like this boom sound, and you'll just hear it all over the place, and it will sound like something really big is like coming, like walking towards you. And the thing is, the wild turkeys here are not necessarily native. I mean, they do live in Montana to an extent, but these are actually wild turkeys that escaped from one of my uncle's turkey pens. So when I was a kid, we didn't even know there were turkeys here. So like it's always taken me longer to fall asleep than anyone else. So I would be awake at night in a tent, because that was back when we used tents, for hours. And I'd be hearing these noises, like these booming noises. And then their mating calls are also equally terrifying. I can't even begin to explain what it sounds like. It's kind of like a horse, like, being strangled. It's very bizarre. So I would be hearing this, and like the next day I would be like, okay, I heard this really scary noise last night. I don't know what it was, but like no one would believe me, because they were like, they'd be like, oh, it's just a horse call, or oh, it was just gear, or that sort of thing. But no, so no one believed me that I heard it, and it took like another 10 years for them to realize that the turkeys were everywhere. And now we know that's just the turkeys making that terrifying noise. If I can get it on camera, I will. The store didn't have any chargers, or baby wipes, or hand warmers, which were the 3 things I went for. So instead I bought water. And right now I'm just reconstituting this cocoa fiber, because this is what you have to put in the composting toilet. It's raining right now, which is nice, because then I don't have to add as much water. But this was a 5-pound block. I'm expecting it to expand to probably the full height of this tub. I do want it to be somewhat dry though, even once I've put it in, because I do want it to absorb water in the toilet. But you have to reconstitute it a little bit so it falls apart. I'm also going to see if my knife is in here. Is my knife here? My knife is in here. Okay. So I can have cheese for lunch. I should be able to charge the camera, because I do actually have the cable for the camera. And I'll just use the battery left in that portable battery once this dies. Assuming, of course, it kept its charge. Babu, you got on the couch all by yourself? Wow. I found a charger in my backpack. So, I guess we're gonna find out what time it is. I think it's like 8:45. Babu's very cold, but we have to go potty, so I'm snuggling her in a blanket until we leave. Yes, I know, Babu. I know. I'll knit you some sleeves. It's 11:30, I was wrong. Babu's like me. She can take a nap at any time during the day, but once it's nighttime and time to go to bed, she just rolls around and does her thing. It's like having a baby. Babu kept me awake all night, and now that it's morning, she's fine and she can go to sleep. I think there's a draft under this bed, because this camper has actually been hit by a car before, and there's like a huge dent in the back, so I think, because underneath this bed is actually a storage space, just we're not using it. So I think the dent must go through the storage space, like there must be a hole there, because literally all of the draft is right by the bed.